It's week 2 of our Writing and Social Studies lesson project. Remember, this is the project about national parks, writing, doing research with social studies too, with the chance to earn a free pass. Last week, when we got together, we talked about how to explore the websites on the internet or with the paper products that were in your packet, and to choose a park and then start collecting some information on your park. So hopefully you've done that. You've got a park picked out, either it's the one in the packet or you've selected one of your own, and you've gone out on the internet, maybe printed out or copied into a document or written down, however you did it, some information on your park. And hopefully you remember where that website is, because today I'm going to show you how to start to work and sort this information out so you can make it into a good writing project. So this is your very, very first step. These steps should have been done last week. This week we're going to focus on week 2, the 4th to the 8th of May, and we're going to decide how to present this project. Today you have to make a choice of how you want to do this, and there is a little ellipsis here. See this little ellipsis right here? Right there. That means there's more to it, and I'll explain that. Okay, remember ellipsis means it goes on. We talked about that in reading a lot. So today you're going to decide how you're going to present your project. I'm going to talk about these options, and then you're going to choose 2 of the topics and use information to make a paragraph about each topic. I'm going to do an example of one. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to do part of it. And then I'm going to talk about some ways you can create pictures and captions. So this week, you'll want to get this mode of presenting figured out, get some writing done, because it is a writing project, and then get some pictures started. Okay, and so that is going to kind of be putting together your material to start getting things figured out how to do it. Now, this is only half of the writing you're going to do. We broke it up into a couple weeks, but I'm going to show you how to do that this week. Okay, so we're going to get started. So, you've selected your park, and you have all kinds of random information on the park, probably. All kinds of stuff you thought was cool. Awesome. You are all set to start writing if you did that. Now, if you didn't do that, you're going to want to stop this video, go back to the first video, watch that, and do this first. Then come back to this one, because I'm going to assume all this is done. I'm not going to re-explain that all, because that's already been done. We're going to start here. Now, you have to decide today, first, how you want to share your project, how it's going to be presented. I had one person from my class already share their idea. They had it roughed out, a skeleton of what they wanted to do, and they chose one of the options on here. So if you want to do that and it's something you can share digitally, you can always show me and say, hey, how's this look? And I can give you some feedback on it and let you know how that looks. The way you would do that is if you have a document that's in Google, you would click share. And when you click share, that lets me see it. You put my email in there, and then it sends me a copy, and then I can write you back and tell you what I think of it. Okay, so here are the options. There's a poster. Of course, that's a large piece of paper, and on that paper you might draw some pictures of the park or print some pictures and put them on there and put captions, write some paragraphs and put it on there. But it's a poster, so it'll have colorful lettering. It needs to pop and draw people's attention. If you like art and you like creating things on a blank space, this is a great choice. If you're not really into the art part and you're like, yeah, I don't really want to draw pictures, I don't want to color, I don't want to put big bubble letters or anything like that, I just want to get the information out there, you might want to choose the report option. Okay? A report is where you write down on paper, like this, or in a Google Doc, type out your information that you have there. You're going to put a couple little pictures in there with captions, but it's just going to be kind of like a piece of writing. Kind of like some of those pieces we were reading this week with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Those are like reports, okay? And that's kind of what this would look like if you chose that option. A brochure is where you take a piece of paper like this, or you could use a digital thing, just blank paper, and you might fold it into a shape. Usually brochures come in thirds, and I'm folding it off camera here, but I'll show you in just a second what it looks like. It's usually a trifold. Looks kind of like this when you're done. It has the paper folded into 3 pieces, and here you might have the name of your park, and you have some pictures and some writing, a paragraph here, a little writing here, a little writing here. You could design this on the computer or on paper, but this is a brochure. And then, of course, when it folds up, the cover of your brochure should have a nice, big, artistic Grand Canyon Park or whatever you chose, and a picture, and to want the person to pick it up and read it. You know when you go to travel stops along the interstate, you stop and then you go to the the rest stations there, they have brochures all over. Everything's colorful. They want you to see it. They want you to look at it. They want you to say, oh, I want to go there. I want to check that out. That is so cool. That's something I've never seen before, and it's really close, so I can go and look at it. And that's what this kind of is what you're making is one of those. Okay, next one is a PowerPoint presentation. You can also do this on Google Slides presentation. These are basically the same thing. This can be shared on Google. This would have to be emailed to me if you're going to do it. Okay, so this you can just share with me. This you can email, but this has better features and animation than this. So if you're a wizard of making something look cool, you might want to do that. But then there's that extra step of how you're going to get it to Mr. David. This one, all you have to do is click the share button, and bam, I can have it, and it's a lot easier. So if you're worried about that part, I'd choose this. Now, in a Google Slide presentation, you're not just going to put pictures, cool, another picture, awesome. No, you need to put a slide about the park, a title slide by you. The second page would tell me about a part of the park. It'd have a picture and a paragraph written on there. The third slide would have a picture and a paragraph written on there. Next week, when we start kind of putting this together, and assembling it in week 3 and 4, I might try to screencast a Google presentation to show you how to do that. The last option, which I'm doing right now, is a video. If you have something like a phone, or you have a Chromebook at home, or you have something that has a camera attached to it, you could do a video of you talking about it. You could have a poster you could be pointing at and talking, and a lot of the paragraph stuff would be you talking about it, and you could show that. Now, the ellipsis means maybe you have something else in mind, whatever that might be. Now, if you want to do something art, like an art project about it or something, that might be a choice, but it does need to include writing. I would still need to have some writing with it, okay? You can't just get out of the writing because you want to make a clay sculpture, okay? You still need to do the writing with that. Whatever that is, anything that's here, you need to ask Mr. David. You need to email me, or you need to contact me, and it is your responsibility to do that, not mine, to chase after you and go, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Your job is to ask me, this is my idea for it. It wasn't on the list. Can I do this? I'll say yes, or I'll say no. If I say no, then you got to pick something else. If I say yes, you can go for it. I've seen kids come up with options that aren't on here, but generally any of these are pretty good options that people are going to like. So you need to make that decision pretty much right away, because whatever you do working for it is all going to work into this format. So you need to know what your end product is going to be so that you can start working towards building it. So you should pick whatever it is you want to do. Now, for my example, I'm going to choose probably a Google slide presentation or a report. That's the one I've been going back and forth between. And I think for my example today, I'm going to pretend I'm doing a report. And then maybe in a later video, I'll do one of these two, okay, just to show it. But today I'm going to pretend that I chose report. So, bam, you're done with that step. Now we move down here, and we say we have to choose 2 of the topics and use your information to write a paragraph about each topic. Well, you're probably thinking, well, what topics? What are you talking about? 2 of the topics? I don't see any topics. Well, you got to look into your packet for the topics, okay? And you don't want to be just saying, if you can't find these, you should ask. But I'm thinking you'll be able to find this. You shouldn't be just sitting there, well, I didn't do it because I didn't know what the topics were. When you get to the second set of information in there, it says National Parks Research Project. And it says up here, for writing and social studies, you'll be creating a project about a national park. You will decide what type of project you will make. You did that today. You will also choose a national park. You did that last week. That interests you. When your project is completed, you get a special certificate that allows you to and your entire family to visit a national park for free. Okay. Here are the choices down here. Okay. And here's what you're going to be doing this week. Now, you already kind of did one. You either went online and found information, or you decided to use the information in the packet on the park that's in there. Decide which one you want to feature. So 1 and 2 you should have been done with already. But here is the topic. Gather information about your park focusing on these general topics. So here are the topics she was talking about, and Mrs. Lossick's form and my form was talking about. Location, region, land features, points of interest, activities, and unique facts. Now, today it said to write about 2 of them. That doesn't mean you get to pick 2 and skip 2. You're just going to do 2 first and 2 second. So you pick the 2 you want to do first, and then you can pick the 2 you want to do second. That really doesn't matter to me. Now, location and land features and region says where is it and what does it look like there? So you'd need a paragraph about where it is. You might want to show a map as one of your pictures. And what does it look like there? Well, you need to describe that because the person's probably never been there. Points of interest. What are some interesting things I will see there? Now, I can hear some of you saying, but I've never been there. How am I supposed to know? Notice it says you will see there. Okay? How do you find out what it looks like? Find a picture. Describe it. What will you see? Read about it. You don't know. You haven't been there. I know that. But you're going to pick that. Activities. What are things people can do there? Well, I don't know. I've never been there. How am I supposed to know? Because on the form it says what the activities are that people do. Doesn't mean you've done them. It doesn't say what have you done at the park. It says what can you do. When you go to the water park, I mean, if you've never been to that water park, you just not go because, that water park, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I know. It's fun. You know there's things that are fun there to do. You've probably researched it and found the rides you wanted to go on when you go. This is the same thing. You're just looking to find the activities that interest you and things a family can do. My family can do when we're at the park. Maybe you all hate caves. Well, then that one's not going to be on there. Okay? But most of us know how to do these things. I know a lot of you like to swim because you talk about it. And last, unique facts. Unique facts means things about that park that other parks don't have. So it has trees is not a unique fact. Many parks have trees. But maybe it has a special kind of tree, like redwood trees. That would be a unique fact. Okay? So we're going to choose two of these today, and I'm going to show you how to do one of them. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you. I'm just going to do part of it to show how to get started in case you're kind of stuck. Okay? Then you're going to decide how to get your information, and of course it says down here, your project has to include these 4 main topics. You can add more topics if you want. But now when I write about it, what am I supposed to do? Well, there's lots of stuff that's on there. So let me flip this over. When I'm writing about a topic, you're going to want information in a paragraph form. Be sure to use your own words. Remember, when you copy something exactly off the internet, we can't do that. It's plagiarism. That's when you use someone else's work and you say it's yours. It's illegal. You can't do that. Your paragraph should have a heading. I'll show you how to do that today. 1 or more pictures with captions. I'm going to do a very simple example of that too. You may draw your pictures or you can copy them. But remember, if you copy it from the internet, we're going to have to use a bibliography to cite, like in your weather reports that you took home in your bag as an example. Where did you get that information from? So if you borrow a picture from somebody, you need to keep track of where you found that picture. Mrs. Peterson came in as the librarian and showed you how to find that information, but I will review that with you too later. That's a week 4 thing, but you want to keep track of your information. If you get something and you know you need to look it up, be sure you keep track that you know that's something I've got to cite and figure out. So this is what we're going to kind of work on today. Now let me go back to the other page we were on, the other side, just the other side of this page. And let's pick something we can work on. Now, if I was going to write about this and I was going to start on this, I first would pick a park. And I think I probably wouldn't pick Grand Canyon Park, but I'm going to do Grand Canyon Park because it's on paper. This article, Grand Canyon Park, is a great article. Whoops, you probably can't see that very well. There you go. It's a great article all about the park, and it has tons of stuff in it. And this is a very easy one because everything is laid out in there. The one I gave you in Isle Royale is just like this, but it's in full color and it's in a book form, which is really nice. It's the same thing, it's just a different park. But maybe you picked a unique park. You found another park you want to write about. That's great. Okay, you can do that. All right, so this is the article. I'm going to use this. And what 2 topics do I want to talk about today? I'm going to actually do one of them. But let's say I was looking at this, and I was looking at the Grand Canyon. I think one thing I'd like to work on today is unique facts. I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to take a look about something about the where it is. I think I want to be able to explain the location and the interest, and that might be something I might need to do today. So I think I'm going to look at those 2 topics. Location, region, and land features. Okay. And then unique facts. Okay, those are the 2 I'm choosing. Now, that doesn't mean I'm skipping these 2 and I'm just not going to do them. No, next week we'll do the other ones. But this week we're going to do these 2. And I'm only going to, in the interest of time, do one of these. And I'm not going to do them both out fully because otherwise you could just sit here and copy it and you just cite Mr. David and say, wow, he did this project for me. Well, no, I'm going to help you do it, but I'm not going to do it for you. I've written a lot of reports in my life. And what's going to happen here is I'm going to pick one of these and I'm going to decide to do this. Well, I think I want to start with something that kind of piques my interest when I read it. And I know there's a lot of unique facts about Grand Canyon Park. I think I might do that one today. And I would end up doing both of them, but I'm going to demonstrate unique facts to you. Okay? So, how do I do that? Good question. We're going to take this thing away because now we know what we're doing. And remember, I should show you this. Remember, whatever park you're on, if you don't choose that park, or if you do choose this park, this page we highlighted last week, lots of good sites up here you can put in that you can use for typing, okay? That's really important, so make sure you get that. All right? So, here we go. I'm going to try to find something that's interesting at this park that's a unique fact. Well, I found something that's very unique when I was reading this, that it actually has in it a bunch of artifacts from people from the past, Native American tribes that lived here. There's lots about the cultures here, and there's some great pictures I could even use. Like there's one right here. It says archaeologists study an ancient site in the Grand Canyon. There they are. Here's the different societies that were here. Look at this. There's lots of cool stuff here. There's tons of unique stuff. And I don't need to cover all of it. I'm just going to do some of it. So what I want to do then is get some paper so I can start writing down, or if I wanted to type, but I'm going to write on here today. Write down some of these neat things that I saw. So this part I'm going to entitle Unique Facts, because that's what this data is for, this one topic, unique facts. And I want to label it so later on when I come back to put this into my project, I remember what it is. One of the unique facts that I found out here is that there are, this paragraph right here, people have lived in the Grand Canyon for thousands of years. Thousands of years, wow. Throughout time, they found shelter, food, and water to survive. Artifacts, objects left behind by past cultures, give them clues about how they lived. People still work, visit, and live at the Grand Canyon today. Wow, that's unique. So one of the topics I found that's very unique is that people have lived here for thousands of years. So I'm going to write that. One fact I learned is that people have lived in the Grand Canyon for thousands of years. Wow. That's kind of fascinating. Okay. Now let me find some details to back up what I'm saying. And what I like about this particular article is it's backed up really well here. It shows the different groups of people that lived here. These are great sentences. I can turn it into it. Look at 800 to 1300 years ago, there were Puebloans that lived there. So I could put that into my writing. About 800 to 1300 years ago, ancient Puebloans lived here. Well, what makes that cool? Well, I go back and look. They lived in stone houses, they hunted animals and grew corn, beans, and squash, and they made pots for storing food. Look at all those details right there. Wow. Okay. They lived in stone houses. Notice how I'm not just copying it. I'm putting it in my words. Stone houses and grew crops. I didn't write everything they grew. I put it in my own words. I'm still going to have to cite where I got this from because I didn't just come up with this. But this is my own words. I'm not just copying it word from word out of the packet. I mean, that's silly to just sit and copy all this down into a piece of paper. No. This is just to give me ideas so I can write it. Then I would go on, and I'm not going to do the whole thing here, but I would go on then and say another culture was the basket makers. Okay, so then I go on to the basket makers here. And I pick out a couple interesting facts from there that I think are important, and I write that on here. So then I might go on and do another one with the other groups, and I would have a few short paragraphs, and that would take care of one out of my 4 things I need to do. This is my unique fact. So once I'm done writing those 4 paragraphs, I could check off unique facts. I have that done. Then I might go up and look for some stuff in the land features, and then I would write this maybe on the other side of this paper or a different piece of paper, and that would be my second one. That would be location and land features. I'm going to do it on the back here. I might just write location/land features because that's what it's called, and I'm going to put a 2 by that because that's my second one. And then I would write some paragraphs about that. Okay? Now, when I have those done, each one of these is going to be probably 3 to 4 short paragraphs. So don't just write a list. That's not going to work. Notice on my other side, I did not write a list. I wrote a paragraph. This first paragraph has 1, 2, 3 sentences, 4 sentences, and then I can read on here, and this is going to have 3 or 4 paragraphs about things, the different cultures that were there. My other one will have 3 or 4 paragraphs about where they're going to live. Okay? So that's the first part of that. Now I might want to add a picture. Now I can choose to add a picture from the internet. I can print it off on a computer. I can put it on there, or I could draw it. I noticed on this, there were some neat pictures here. Like down here, the Paleo Indians, 9,000 to 13,000 years ago, they used stones to make sharp tips. I see here the basket makers made baskets they could carry. The ancient Pueblans, they even made bowls. That might be a good example of a picture. Here's how I might do that. Now I'm on this paper yet, basket makers. And I'm going to go down to the bottom. I could use a separate paper if I wanted to. And again, I'm going to draw this picture. So maybe I'd want to do my picture. I'll make a box where I want the picture to be. Okay. And in that box, I'm going to draw that bowl. And I can look at the picture for details as I look at it. I see it's got some artwork here, and it's got some interesting artwork here. And then it had this neat little thing along the bottom like that in the picture. Okay, so there's a picture of a bowl. Now I have to say what this is, and this is where we're going to write what we call a caption. Okay, a caption. So down here, I don't label it caption. I'm just writing that so you know that. I would write down here an ancient Puebloan bowl. That is a caption that explains what this picture up here is about. We don't draw the arrow, I'm just showing you. Okay, it shows what it's about. Okay, that's an example of a picture you could draw by hand. Now, if you'd rather just go on the internet, find a picture of one, print it, and stick it in there and write your own caption there, that's fine. You can do that. Okay, so this week, you're going to be focusing on getting 2 of these taken care of. Okay? You need to pick 2 of them. Doesn't have to be the 2 I picked. You can pick the other 2 or whatever you want. You're going to get those written this week. That's what I want you to focus on. Getting those 2 pieces written this week so they're there. Remember, you can research on the internet and everything too. Okay? And again, I will give more support with that if you need it. As usual, if you need any help with this, you can always contact me or we can video chat or whatever, but I can help you with that. Now I want to show you here, this is pretty much what we did today. And I didn't do the whole thing in front of you, but I did a piece of each so you could see it. So you're going to make this decision, choose 2 topics that I showed you and write about them. And then you're going to create a picture for each one of those with captions to go with each topic. So you need to do a picture, so it would be 2 pictures or more, but 2 for sure, 1 with each topic. And get those pictures done. Okay? Or downloaded or whatever. That's what I want you to accomplish over this week. If you put about, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes a day into this, working on it, you'll have it done easily, probably with time to spare. I mean, I just spent 20 minutes here and I almost completed one part of it already. So you can get this done in probably an hour if you sit down and knock it all out at once if you feel like you want to do that. And this part up here, well, you can start thinking about it right now to figure out what you want to do. That won't take very long at all. Next week, we're going to do the other two topics. I'll show you how to do that. I'll review that again and create some captions. So we're going to basically do this again next week with the other two parts, and I'll show you how to find that in that article with that. Week 4 is when we're going to assemble it all, and I'll share some other things there. Okay, so that's where we're at with writing and social studies this week. I hope you learn a lot about a cool national park you want to visit, and I hope your writing goes well. Now again, if you have questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Please don't be afraid to ask for some help. Now, I don't want Mr. David to do it for me, but if you want, like, how do I go about, putting this together or something, I can give you some guidance on what to do. But it's up to you to do it, but I can help you with it if you're having trouble. So that's what you want to get done by week 2. Okay? You're going to get your park picked. You looked at information. Now you're going to start putting facts down that are going to be on your brochure, or on your presentation, or on your report, or whatever it is, your video, whatever it is you choose to do. All right, hope that's helpful. But again, if you have questions, please let me know. All right, buddy, take care, and everybody have a good time, and enjoy this research, because you might get to go see this thing for real, which would be really cool. All right, talk to you later.